Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the week, and our weather is going to get better here in Calgary. I was talking to somebody in Ontario yesterday. They had amazing weather for the long weekend. I mean, good for them. That's about all I got to say about that. No, but everything now. I was out in my garden yesterday, and I was looking at the weather, and I've got weeds popping up after everything I just weeded, which is great. I'm going to get rid of them in the next couple of days. So the rain helped all of those germinate, so we'll get rid of them. And then our overnight temperatures are meant to start getting up to 8 and even a couple of 11s. Fingers crossed. So this weekend is, I got my eye on planting on Sunday. So fingers crossed for that. But yeah, this rain, I mean, it's been perfect. It really hasn't been exactly conducive to us gardening, enjoying spring, but you know what? We need it, and nothing waters like that. It's just a deep, solid water. There's no risk of burn or anything else. It just works so well. So continuing on this week, we've been discussing, weeds and differentiating between them. And can you live with them, or is it a no-go? We talked about bugs yesterday. Most people, when they say garden bugs, the vast majority will say pests. That's not true. There are so many beneficial ones in the garden. So it's just a matter of doing that. Then what I thought I'd talk about today are overall best practices and what you can do to kind of stave off the problems. And tomorrow we're going to talk about, how to stop a little problem blossoming into a big problem. And a lot of these all tie into each other, which is why we kind of lumped them all into this week. So, the first best practice I have to go with is cleanliness, and that's across the board. It's why you hear the term spring cleanup and fall cleanup. If you have a tree, a rose, a shrub, whatever, that has blight or powdery mildew, leaf miner, whatever, aphids, etc., 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 it drops its leaves in the autumn. Maybe it's a perennial that had aphids, and the foliage all comes down, the stem withers. Get rid of it, eliminate it, cut that stuff, get it in the compost. Remove all of the leaves, as many as you can. If you've got mulch, get rid of that mulch. And I know it sucks because then next year you have to buy more mulch. But it baffles me when I see people keeping the same mulch year after year and buying chemical spray year after year. Get rid of all of that. That becomes a breeding ground for all of those pathogens. Mulch, it's beautiful. It has a purpose. It's fantastic stuff. But if it gets powdery mildew, any kind of fungal growth in there, it's a perfect breeding ground. It insulates. It keeps moisture in there. It keeps a regulated temperature. Fungus is like check. Like you're ticking all the boxes. The bugs can lay their eggs in it. So you really, really, really want to clean out your plants. If you have infestations or pathogens, getting that area clean is essential. Which is why, again, in the spring, maybe you couldn't get to it in the fall. Maybe you didn't have the time. Maybe before you got out there, like what happened to me last year, I got a few of my beds done, and it was a gorgeous fall. So I was prolonging it. I was enjoying it. And then, wham, snow. And I didn't get everything done. This spring, there was a heck of a lot more work for me to do. I know I've got some problem areas. I know I've got powdery mildew, but I cleaned it out in the spring. And on that is where you want to start. Now, I grabbed these because they're new and they're shiny, but you want to make sure your tools are clean. Sterilize them with this, but also stick them in a mixture of baking soda and vinegar and get any corrosion off them. So these are my personal pruners. Okay, I've had these now 7 or 8 years. The blade's a little dull, but I'm going to touch on that in a second. I got my sharpener. But they're clean. And twice a year, 3 times a year, depending on use, I take them all apart. I undo all of this. I take off the blade. I take off everything. I drop everything into a vinegar baking soda solution, and I keep it mixing, and I let it get all effervescing. Whoa, yeah, there's it. There's a $10 word today. Ignore what else I said. That was the minus $10 word. But yeah, I get the effervescence that comes up, and it really cleans off the corrosion. Then I take a scrubby and some steel wool, and I honestly wipe them down. I get all of the corrosion off. So those marks you see on there is just old stains. It's wear and tear. And they'll last. Well, they've lasted me 7 to 8 years, and they're not going anywhere. And you can do that. This is a cheaper pair that we sell. But you can see all of the parts on there are ridiculously easy to take apart. So keeping things clean doesn't mean you got to buy new every year. And take a sharpener. And for that, yeah, you know what? This blade is not sharp. Okay, it needs to be sharpened. I didn't get a chance to do that yet. Will it cut? Absolutely. No problem. Okay, but if I start cutting a woodier stem, it's not sharp, so I'm not going to get a cleaner cut. As I do it and I try and get through, I'm going to end up with a more raggedy cut, for want of a better word, and that's going to heal worse. So I'm pruning something off the tree. Maybe it's black knot, maybe it's a broken branch, and then I'm leaving a ragged cut behind, which is prone to infection. So that's not beneficial overall. So you want everything clean and sharp and ready to go. And honestly, some hydrogen peroxide, a little sharpening stone, a scrubby pad of rags, steel wool, and a little bit of elbow grease goes a long way. So cleaning out your beds, cleaning off your tools, fantastic. And then you want to look at keeping your plants healthy, keeping them in the best environment possible. We don't want to see our plants suffer from drought or overwatering. We don't want to see them becoming nutrient deficient and becoming deprived and becoming weaker. We were just talking about this. And a lot of times, if you think back to your own life and times that you've gotten sick, and I'm talking like common colds, things like that. A lot of the times it happens when you're run down. You know, the kids go back to school in September. Great progression. We've seen this so many times in our house. So now we're out of summer mode. There's more chaos because there's more things happening. Everything is going on. The seasons are changing. Got to get out and do the garden. Got to do this. Got to do that. We stop taking as much care of ourselves. We're not getting as much vitamin D from the sun. So our health is going down. Maybe there's a lot of rain and snow. We're not moving as much. And all of these factors, then more germs are spreading because more people are in that same environment. Hey, presto, you get a common cold. It's the same with the plants. If we start putting them under undue stress and we're not giving them what they need, they're more susceptible to what I said at the beginning, the aphids and the powdery mildews. So it's a cycle. Those pathogens get in. Then we don't clean up properly. They sustain. We're not watering and fertilizing our tree. We're doing damage when we use blunt pruners. All of these factors are going in, and we're creating a perfect storm of this environment that's going to sustain fungus and pests. And all it takes is that little bit of effort to go ahead and be like, oh, you know what? I am going to clean my tools. I am going to do a little bit of work. Okay, this is going to suck, but I am going to pull all the mulch, throw it in the compost bin, and buy a couple of new bags and freshen it up. Taking that effort goes a long way. The amount of times when I tell people, they come in and their cotoneaster hedge is sick, and I use that. I think it's very relatable. I think a lot of people can relate to it. They ask me what they can do. Well, a lot of times it's the middle of summer, there's nothing you can do. It's oyster scale. You got to hit it very early spring with a dormant stray kit. But until we get to there, what do we do now? Fertilizer program, lots of water. Same as if we get sick. Doctors will tell you lots of nutrition, stay hydrated, lots of rest. That's what we want to do on the cotoneaster. We want to give it everything it needs, so it's not there. Sure, you can come in, buy sprays, and spray all day. I said that at the very beginning. It's the same thing. Go to your doctor. I know my doctor, maybe he just lectures me. If I go in and I'm sick, he'll, are you eating right? Are you getting enough rest? Are you getting enough playtime? Are you getting enough exercise? What's your stress levels like? He'll ask all of those things. Yeah, we can treat why I'm in that. I can go in and be like, I've got a sinus infection. There's a pill. Great. But if I don't take care of all of the other factors that allowed me to get that, you know what? I'm going to get it again. And that's not to say I keep my garden relatively clean and healthy. I thin it out, I clean it, I prune. I make sure there's a balance of weeds in the grass, but no weeds in the bed, good bugs, bad bugs. I try and keep everything balanced. And I'll still get powdery mildew. I'll still get black nut. I try and take care of myself, and I'll still get a cough, a common cold, a sinus infection. It's going to happen, but your chances of fighting it and getting better after the fact are much more improved by having some best practices in play. So I hope that kind of gives you guys an idea of how to approach the garden and what to do in the garden. We're loving seeing everybody enter to win clover. That makes me so happy. I was never sure if a giveaway like that is just going to fall flat because people are like, no, clover's a weed. We're getting a ton of responses. Gotta love seeing it. I can't wait. I won't forget about you guys. I promise. Can't wait till the ladybirds get here. We'll give away a bag of those. Have a great day. Let's wait for that sun to come out. Take care, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, where we're going to talk about how to stop a small problem. No matter how healthy you are, you may get a powdery mildew. How to stop it becoming a big problem. Treatments, and again, best practices, bugs, and other good things we can look for. Take care, everybody. We'll see you guys soon. Bye now.